Okay, I think it's really wonderful कि like जहाँबाट पनि यो conversation चाहिँ start भएको छ नि at the moment and with whatever incident we're referring to, and I think it's really great कि this conversation is finally coming up. Okay, my patriarchal countries and हाम्रो country हैन, so यस्तो countryमा चाहिँ sexism सबै domains मा छ कि be it social, political, economical domains, and households, each and everywhere, including schools. Schools should have been the place that should have taught us that should have always taught us to break through the patriarchal norms. Unfortunately, we tend to validate male teachers' opinion a lot than female teachers. And female teachers also so many a times play a role of mediating between what the school wants and girls are like imposition गर्न खोज्छ नि हैन कुनै पनि स्कुल्सले त्यो चाहिँ female teachers through मात्र आउँछ के कति धेरै times के just like हाम्रो.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 13 of Bhanna Baki. I am Felicia.
Hi, hello, namaste. मेरो नाम चाहिँ सज्ञान खड्का.
And today we have Darshana Chand with us. Darshana is very, very vocal about feminist issues, women rights issues, and I'm very, and extremely, and I extremely admire her. And without further ado, I would like Darshana to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, so I am Darshana Chand. I'm really grateful to the Bhanna Baki team for inviting me over. Thank you so much for having me here. I am a feminist writer, a feminist activist, always raising my voice, trying to always raise my voice towards establishing non-discriminatory patterns for women. So it's in the form of writing that I usually tend to do. So I am currently engaged in a project called the F Project Nepal. F Project Nepal is an online activism platform at the moment that is helping in building about stories of Nepali women in the country and outside of the country in order to add to the narration of the Nepali movement, Nepali feminist movement. So that is what I'm engaged in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice. What led you to start this up? I saw Felicia sharing the Instagram profile of the non-vocal organization that you guys have. So what implied you? What pushed you guys to start this?
It was actually Nirvana Didi. So if you know Nirvana Bandari, she's a feminist writer, like endangered feminist Nepal. So she actually is the founder of the F Project Nepal, and she called out for artists one time. I think it was in 2019. She had this open call for artists, and we applied for it, sat for a phone interview, and we met in person, and that's how the team was formed.
So
awesome.
That's really nice, right? Like seeing so many young people being vocal about issues, I would say it really does bloom our heart. But without further ado, we'll move into our topic. Previously, we've all read the articles published by Kathmandu Post, Annapurna, Himalayan Times, and the recent incident that happened in the schools of Nepal, that one particular school of Nepal. And यो बारे चाहिँ a lot of controversies पनि भयो है. अनि as सबैको धारणा different छ, but I think we all have a common ground as students, and because we've all been through that phase of disciplinary act, त्यो phase and all. So त्यो अहिले सुन्दाखेरि चाहिँ लास्टै नराम्रो लाग्यो कि अहिलेको यो जमानामा अझै पनि त्यसरी नै shaming गर्दो रहेछ मान्छेहरूलाई हैन, especially students like, and that was coming out of teachers. Teacher को ecosystemबाट स्टुडेन्ट्सहरूलाई त्यसरी गर्दा चाहिँ नराम्रै लाग्यो. अनि Darshana, I just want to ask you, what do you think about this overall? And let's just start off very easy. Say, like your recent incident, you know what I'm talking about, right? Bro. So, त्यो बारे चाहिँ तिम्रो विचारहरु चाहिँ के रहेछ? भन्छौ भने.
Okay, I think it's really wonderful कि like जहाँबाट पनि यो conversation चाहिँ start भएको छ नि at the moment and with whatever incident we're referring to, and I think it's really great कि this conversation is finally coming up, okay? Because this was something that needed to be discussed years before, right? Even in schools, we should have talked about these things, but we never did. Identify any corners of benefit. I mean, it's really sad like that. But I think at the moment it was important to strike this conversation. I mean, it's really amazing that your conversations are taking place, because at the end of the day, like I always say, our sexism, Nepal is a country which is absolutely एकदमै patriarchal countries and our country. So it's the country sexism सबै domains मा छ कि be it social, political, economical domains, households, each and everywhere, including schools. But schools shouldn't have been the place to promote this. अझै नै झन् नराम्ररी चाहिँ सेक्सिजम फ्लरिश गराउने ठाउँ चाहिँ स्कुल्स होइन बिकज स्कुल सुड हेभ बिन द प्लेस द्याट सुड हेभ टट अस कि यस्तो हुनु हुँदैन है द्याट सुड हेभ अलवेज टट अस टु ब्रेक थ्रु द पेट्रियार्कल नर्म्सहरू होइन तर अनफोर्चुनेटली त्यो चाहिँ हुन सकेन somehow or the other अब ट्राई स्कुल्सहरूले ट्राई गर्यो होला गरेन होला होइन बट इन अ वे अर दि अदर त्यो रुल्स रेगुलेसन्सहरू नै अति नै कन्ट्रोलिङ भयो कि कन्ट्रोलिङ इन सेन्स कि एउटा पर्टिकुलर सेक्स अथवा एउटा पर्टिकुलर जेन्डरको इन्डिभिजुअललाई मात्र अफेक्ट गरिरहेको छ कि फेरि इट्स नट लाइक हुन्छ नि एउटा नर्मली एउटा नर्मल स्टेटमा सबैजनालाई अफेक्ट गरेको नि होइन कि इट्स completely imposed upon a particular person from a particular sex, gender, so it started to become more problematic. And it's really nice that your conversations are striking up because today or tomorrow schools have to rethink their policies, rules, and regulations.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there is like a positive thing about social media now? People are being more vocal, like the way girls are coming out on social media about the experiences they have had. Do you think social media has actually worked as a catalyst to be their voice?
I of course think so because like I mentioned earlier, we identify but now that I see young girls and teenage, like not just girls, even boys, they've become sort of open-minded towards what's out there in the real world. Okay? I mean, I definitely believe that social media has a huge role to play. Like even with Awami F project ma, like we keep on posting about things and we dissect a lot of areas. It's cultural things also, everyday sexism, general sexism, and we try to dissect a lot of things. And I mean, what I'm notice a pattern when it's like comment section, be sharing our posts, to intensify it mostly comes from young girls or young boys. Okay? And it's really nice to see that engagement in social media increasing. They're also leading to themselves towards discussions. Okay? यस्तो नरेटिभ्सतिर जुनतिर चाहिँ हामीहरू चाहिँ पहिला चाहिँ त्यस्तो खासै ओपन थिएन होला कि or we did not even have idea of त्यस्तो खालको नरेसन एक्जिस्ट गर्छ भन्ने हामीलाई चाहिँ त्यति आइडिया नै थिएन but I think youngsters today have huge platforms on them and they're using it in the best possible way. I really think it's amazing.
Yeah, I think kids today like are very very opinionated, I think we actually didn't really have a platform. Is the platform maybe we would have been different like teenagers back then. I have another question for you. Did you personally experience any kind of sexism or harassment when you were in school, college, or did you witness anything that happened to your friends, something you would want to share?
So my experience as a victim of sexism I'd like to start with how I was involved in perpetrating sexism in schools. Schools I love my school. So much of what I am today is because of the opportunities that I got in schools. And this opportunity when you're appointed as the captain of the school, when you're appointed as the head girl of the school, so much of what the school wants students to do in terms of discipline comes down on your shoulders. Okay? But you're head girl, so you have to look after the discipline of so many students. I remember myself obsessing over the length of ribbons or unnecessary things. Unnecessary things. And now, 6 years after schooling, if I look back at that, I just find it so foolish and I really wish I could change things around. Okay? So I've also been on the other end where I promoted sexism in a way or the other, and I really wish I could correct it, but the only thing I can do right now is reflect on that and realize that it's a wrong kura thiyo bhanera. Okay? And besides that, I also think about schools there used to be teachers, male teachers, who thought it was fine to just get inside a classroom, tease a girl student, and then walk out of the class. Okay? So in sense, it was very uncomfortable situations that create colleges, universities attend unnecessary obsession over nail paint colors, kanma earrings lagacha ki chaina bhanne kuraharu, hamle kurta launदाखेरि shawl चाहिँ लगाएको छ कि छैन भन्ने कुराहरु हैन, हाम्रो ब्लाउज चाहिँ कति सम्मको हाम्रो ज्यानलाई छोप्छ त भन्ने कुराहरु हैन. I think these are हामी युनिभर्सिटीमा अटेन्ड गर्ने स्टुडेन्ट भइसकेसम्म चाहिँ आई रियली डु बिलिभ कि हामी यतिसम्म सेन्सिबल हुन्छ कि कलेज स्कुल्सहरूको एउटा सर्टेन गाइडलाइन्स छ र त्यो गाइडलाइन्स हामीले फलो गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरासँग चाहिँ आई थिङ्क वर अलरेडी सेन्सिबल इनफ टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड द्याट होइन तर जुन अननेसेसरी बर्डन दिन्छ नि आई रियली हेट इट कि अनि आई ह्याड एक्सपिरियन्सेस वेयर आई हेभ पर्सनली बिन shawl जब म कुर्ता लगाइरहेको छु होइन आई हेभ ह्याड एक्सपिरियन्स आई हेभ सिन माई फ्रेन्ड्स एउटा क्याटेगोरी अफ वाट good uniform school must look like होइन so I think all of these boils down to schools eventually a woman like to sexualize herself and I think most of us have had this experience I think mere part of experience पनि somewhere falls around to moral policing body policing inside schools now.
Right. Speaking about moral policing I just want to know कि यो कपाल छोटो लामो भएर चाहिँ पढाइसँग के सम्बन्ध हुँदो रहेछ like what brings all these higher up principals and educators and policy makers what brings them हुन्छ नि to a verdict where they think कि shorter hair हुन्छ नि and longer clothes I'll just put that out longer covered clothes यो सबै कुराहरूले चाहिँ पढ्नमा चाहिँ कसरी हुन्छ नि अपिलिङ गर्दो रहेछ पढ्नलाई चाहिँ कसरी स्टुडेन्टलाई पुश गर्दो रहेछ त स्टुडेन्ट्स लाइक यो स्कुल्सहरूको पर्सपेक्टिभ चाहिँ के रहेछ त यस्तो पोलिसीहरू निकाल्नलाई
Exactly, and I also wonder कि किनभने अब schools are always like boys should have short hairs भन्ने हुन्छ नि हैन but what they do not also realize is त्यो भनेको एउटा इन्डिभिजुअललाई certain gender stereotype र box गरिराको हो के so you have schools को biases नै निस्किसक्यो you have certain rules for girls you have certain rules for boys what about students belonging to other gender identities what about students belonging to other sexual orientation हैन so यसको लागि त specific rules and regulations त के छैन नि त so त्यसले गर्दा त्यही schools have already like fallen short of the kinds of rules and regulations they create के अनि I think एकदमै especially in terms of Nepalको rules and regulations they very much cater to हामीलाई यो जेन्डर रोल हुन्छ नि जुन चाहिँ जेन्डर रोल सोसाइटीले क्रिएट गरिदिएको छ त्यसमा नै फिट हुनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरामा चाहिँ एकदमै नै धेरै फोकस छ कि एन्ड आई थिङ्क इट निड्स टु ब्रेक थ्रु बिकज एउटा लजिकल रिजनिङ छैन नि त एउटा लजिकल ग्राउन्ड छैन अन वाइ दोज रुल्स आर बिङ मेड भनेर चाहिँ कि एन्ड देयर नेभर एबल टु एक्सप्लेन द्याट अब जस्तै देयर आर स्कुल्स हु लिटरली कल इन अ बार्बर एन्ड मेक यु कट योर हेयर सर्ट त्यहीँको त्यहीँ होइन विच इज जस्ट सो इन्सेन कि अब त्यो अननेसेसरी हो नि त बट इट रन्स लाइक द्याट
Yeah, I have a follow-up question on that. I think we've discussed like this in the Bhanna Baki episodes as well. The textbooks and the kind of education that we get in schools, do you think do you think they have enough information for children, for students to understand about sex education, about just sex education in general, so that they know what's happening with their bodies, how they should deal with it? Do you think schools or the textbooks in schools have enough information about that, or do they even include that in any way?
I think first and foremost मलाई के लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ the whole idea of separating हुन्छ नि सेक्स भनेको के हो जेन्डर भनेको के हो जेन्डर आइडेन्टिटी के हो सेक्सुअल ओरिएन्टेसन के हो भन्ने कुरा नि हामी स्कुल्समा नै त्यस्तो राम्ररी सिकाइँदैन कि and it comes as a shock कि a lot of people even when they're in their हुन्छ नि undergraduate do not understand the meaning of all of these things के अनि अब I don't mean to shame them हैन तर it's just that अब यो normal कुरा हो त it's general things that we हुन्छ नि मान्छेको life depends on knowing this के there are people who are living this truth हैन तर we have no idea about what this is के so in terms of that चाहिँ अब फेरि त्यो बुक्सहरु करिकुलममा छैन भन्ने नि हैन of course like EPH हरुमा त्यो सबै कुराहरुमा चाहिँ I think the curriculum is understandable किन भन्दाखेरि अब नेपालको curriculum takes huge एकदमै long years to change अब it hasn't been changed since such a long time हैन so त्यसले गर्दाखेरि अब I think it has more to do with teachers' inability to deliver it in the classroom किनभने sometimes the teacher will just walk into your class and एउटा हुन्छ नि एउटा आफै एउटा uncomfortable vibe मा आएर चाहिँ eventually त्यो vibe चाहिँ that person will just pass on to उसको स्टुडेन्ट्सहरु अनि त्यो स्टुडेन्ट any uncomfortable situation create and we're never open to learning about or having discussions around those things so I think it's curriculum wise especially with whatever is going on right now schools I think I really see more fault with teachers' inability or incapability to deliver it in the classrooms जस्तो लाग्छ कि I think there's not enough teacher को trainings-हरु or teacher को development को लागि management को लागि चाहिँ enough gender sensitive trainings-हरु जसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ उहाँहरुलाई चाहिँ एउटा open space एउटा openness चाहिँ create गरिदिनुको लागि to be able to deliver all of those things into a classroom. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Do you think it is also because of the generation gap? Like the teachers I had for those kind of classes were very, very old. Since we are also learning, what's happening with the LGBTQ rights and all of that, and there's new thing to learn every day. But maybe it's because the teachers who've been teaching for like over 20 years and have not been able to keep up with the changing times? Do you think that's the reason why they don't feel comfortable like starting that conversation?
And also, त्यो पनि हो जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ like one of the factors किनभने as for मेरो experience पनि हैन म I think class 8 or 9 मा हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ हाम्रो एकजना EPH teacher हुनुहुन्थ्यो नि he was quite a young teacher के अब early हुन्छ नि late 20s early 30s तिर भएको teacher हैन I remember him teaching us the contraceptive methodsहरु so you'd like literally bring up हुन्छ नि अब the whatever like thingsहरु use हुन्छ नि contraception को लागि bring up femidom, condoms, classmate later you just like show and also not make it awkward for us. It works like this is this whereas when I went to like for my high school I have mentioned this earlier too my biology teacher he refused to teach us reproductive system so I think it had also to do with the age. I think the age factor does play a huge role in this too. I think you're a stagnant. I've been doing this for years and this is how it works. Mindset needs hockey. Teachers who've been in your sort of mindset
right. I think a lot of cultural stigma when there as well. Generational gap teachers who have very core beliefs towards our cultural values. Yeah. Like they didn't implement like open mind they're very limited opinions sturdy particular based and they do not want to listen from their students and students open environment create when they would straight up restrict it and also like by the way I wanted to ask what happened to incident at the as in what were the measures taken after those articles, after all the controversies to incident at the school? Like any steps, any measures taken from the school policy maker side and students side were there any actions taken?
Are you talking about this?
Right. I'm sorry, it's out of the topic, but I just wanted to know, right? The controversy happened. A lot of people knew about it. There were a lot of articles and revolving around the social media. And I just wanted to know, were there any steps taken regardless of all the noise that was made? Were there any actions taken by policymakers your school ko or that directors, board of directors, whatever, or that any at the student side what were the steps and measures taken to contain garnalai?
I think the school they had this statement that was taken out and it was really like press release kind of. It just said their intention was never to like make their students feel that way, but I think the alumni has been really strong and you can also find it on Instagram. I think they have this thing called so they've really been taking initiatives and say like weekly discussions that are going on about why they also creating a bigger community so that eventually like they can bring about some changes in after school policies. So alumni from like different batches, they're collaborating together and also Asman, like they're trying to reach out to Asman. So I like student side, but I'd say the efforts they continue. They haven't just like left it action burning issue by they've been doing it.
Really glad, really positive about that. Thank you. Felicia, you want to go up with another question that we have?
Yeah, I do have another question. This is about female teachers experiencing any kind of sexism. Do you have anything to share about that or any take on that?
हामी चाहिँ me and some of my friends were currently working towards this के like ठ्याक्क भन्न चाहिँ मिल्दैन हैन तर I'm just gonna say कि we're kind of like researching and stuff हैन अनि त्यो बेलामा नि what we came to find out was नेपालको जुन प्राइमरी एजुकेसन भनेर डिफाइन्ड हुन्छ नि हैन सो त्यसमा चाहिँ टिचर्सको जतिजना स्टुडेन्ट्सहरु चाहिँ similar representation, so which is a very nice thing. Teachers ko case ma chai primary education ma there are about 42% teachers, whereas secondary education ma there are only about 15% teachers. Okay? So यसले चाहिँ हामीलाई चाहिँ एउटा certain shift चाहिँ देखाउन थाल्यो के because it led towards जुन यो ग्लास एस्केलेटरको फिनोमिनन हुन्छ नि हैन कि टिचिङ भनेको एउटा एकदमै फिमेल डोमिनेटेड प्रोफेसन भनेर मानिन्छ नि त हैन सो डिस्पाइट अफ टिचिङ बिङ सच अ फिमेल डोमिनेटेड प्रोफेसन स्टिल हायर लेभल एजुकेसनमा पढाउने टिचर्सहरु मेल एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिभ पोजिसनमा हुने मान्छेहरु चाहिँ मेलहरु हैन अब स्कुल्समा चाहिँ सेकेन्ड के प्राइमरी एजुकेसनमा टिचर्सहरु यति धेरै हुन्छ नि बट इफ यु लुक एट द प्रिन्सिपल्स द हुन्छ नि भाइस प्रिन्सिपल्स अकाउन्टको मान्छेहरु हेर्दाखेरि हुन्छ नि अब एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिभ लेभलको पोजिसन्सहरु चाहिँ फेरि धेरै चाहिँ मेल टिचर्सहरुको हुन्छ के सो दिस इज वान थिङ आई थिंक इन दैट वे दे आर भेरी लाइक सेक्सिस्ट टुवर्ड्स फिमेल टिचर्स हैन फेरि यसमा पनि अब डिफरेन्ट फ्याक्टर्स छ होला हैन कोही फिमेल्सहरु जेन्युइनली इन्केपेबलै छ होला बट वी अल्सो ह्याभ टु सी कि उहाँहरुको इन्केपेबिलिटी कताबाट आउँछ त बिकज उहाँहरु त्यति एडुकेसनसँग एक्सपोज हुनु हुँदैन होला उहाँहरु त्यतिको एडुकेसनली क्वालिफाइड हुनु हुँदैन होला हैन फेरि द प्रब्लम गोज ब्याक टु स्कुल के सो इट्स a loop के हुन्छ नि स्कुलमै स्टार्ट हुन्छ फेरि यु कम ब्याक टु स्कुल वाइ फिमेल टिचर्स नट हुन्छ नि केही न फेरि यु कम ब्याक टु स्कुल कि किनभने उहाँहरूले त्यति राम्रो स्कुलिङ पाउनु भएन देयर नट एबल टु कम्प्लिट द एजुकेसन भन्ने कुराहरू अनि अ लट अफ अदर फ्याक्टर्स इन्भल्भड हैन किनभने अब हुन्छ नि कल्चरल कुराहरू अलवेज ह्याभिङ टु गिभ ब्याक टु द फ्यामिली वेयर अ मेल टिचर क्यान जस्ट गो डु हिज जब कम ब्याक इट स्लिप हैन सो त्यसले गर्दाखेरि पनि आई थिङ्क त्यो वेमा पनि इट्स भेरी सेक्सिस्ट अनि अर्को टर्म्स भनेको चाहिँ मैले यो आफै नै नोटिस गरेको के हामी एज स्टुडेन्ट्स पनि हाम्रो आउटलुक टुवर्ड्स फिमेल टिचर्स इज नट भेरी रेस्पेक्टफुल के इट्स कति धेरै सेन्समा चाहिँ हामी पनि वी टेन्ड टु भ्यालिडेट मेल टिचर्सको ओपिनियन अ लट देन फिमेल टिचर्स के अनि फिमेल टिचर्स अल्सो सो मेनी अ टाइम्स प्ले अ रोल अफ मिडिएटिङ बिट्विन वाट द स्कुल वान्ट्स अनि गर्ल्सहरूलाई जुन इम्पोजिसन गर्न खोज्छ नि होइन कुनै पनि स्कुल्सले त्यो चाहिँ फिमेल टिचर्स थ्रु मात्र आउँछ कि कति धेरै टाइम्स कि जस्ट लाइक हाम्रो घरमा चाहिँ अब मम्मीहरुबाट मात्र आउँछ नि इट नेभर कम्स फ्रम द फादर्स दो द फादर्स फील द सेम थिङ हैन or maybe 100 times more but it will always come from the side of the mothers so स्कुलमा पनि always come from the side of the female teachers के and so female teachers लाई नि एउटा कस्तो पेडेस्टलमा चाहिँ राख्दिन्छ के which they might not be willing to actually हुन्छ नि make their girl students follow त्यो sort of things but they have to do it के so त्यो सेन्समा पनि भयो and I think there's this I think there's a book called Can Women Rebel भन्ने के सङ्गीता रायमाझीले भयो टियुको प्रोफेसर हैन सो उहाँले नि एकदमै एक्सप्लेन गर्नुहुन्छ कि हाउ इभन एजुकेसन युनिभर्सिटी लेभलमा गइसकेपछि पनि हैन your identity as a female teacher is always a struggle between being a female and a teacher okay? So there's actually a huge gap between being a female and a teacher okay? So nobody will ultimately give you all the respect just because you're a teacher that a male teacher is likely to gain money. Okay? So I of course think कि जुन sexist institutions को कुरा गर्दा चाहिँ हामी हैन जुन चाहिँ sexism चाहिँ schools, education, academic institutions हरूमा चाहिँ flourish छ so it's not only affecting the students but the female teachers as well.
I think now that you've mentioned primary schools say female teacher body so do you think it's also because that is not more of a teaching but like kind of taking care of the young toddlers and all of that so I think that's kind of like they might have a sense of motherhood that's why they would be more responsible towards this job it just like this idea just hit me I had never really realized that it's only female teachers who are in primary education as we go higher we see more of both are like actually more male teachers do you think that idea is there
I think definitely I think the major reason नै किन female teachers हरु हुन्छ नै it's because of the हुन्छ नि nurturing nature उहाँले हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ भनेर नै हो हैन but what I also tend to believe is this is very benevolently sexist के किनभने एउटा महिलाको काम भनेको बच्चाहरूलाई नर्चर गर्न सक्ने मात्र होइन नि त सो इट्स नट इम्प्लिकेसन अफ अ डिरेक्ट होस्टाइलली सक्सेस भएको होइन अफकोर्स राम्ररी नै भनेको हो होइन किनभने तिमी एकजना महिला हो तिमीले चाहिँ बच्चाहरूलाई चाहिँ राम्ररी हेर्न सक्छ तिमी प्राइमेरी एजुकेसनमा पढौ इट्स अ भेरी नाइस वे अफ सेइङ इट होइन सुगर कोटेड भेरी नाइस होइन तर इट इज बेनोभलेन्टली भेरी सेक्सिस्ट अनि मलाई चाहिँ लाग्छ कि इन अ वे ओर दि अदर इट इभेन्चुली ह्याम्पर्स एउटा वुमनको के कस्तो अचिभमेन्ट गर्ने क्यापेसिटी छ कि So I think limitations still lie there. Of course, even if you think she's nurturing enough, it still sets about a limitation. Life matter.
Right. Even ita ye BSU or that ye America ko education system ko kura haru mai here मेरो university ma चाहिँ there was a research team and a student-based research and जसमा चाहिँ के निकालेको थियो भने female teachers and even teachers who has PhD doctorate degrees हरू हैन they do not get the respect that they should अथवा हुन्छ नि the platform that they should regardless उहाँहरुको educational background त्यति हाई भए पनि के and they don't even get this from their male counterparts पनि के उहाँको male colleagues co-workers हरूबाट पनि उहाँ to recognition त्यो एफर्ट पाउँदैन रे के उहाँलाई त्यो डाक्टर अथवा प्रोफेसर भनेर त्यो ग्रीट गर्नु अनि स्टुडेन्ट्सहरुबाट त धेरै नै मिनिमल थियो एन्ड दिस ह्यापन जस्ट मेजोरिटी अफ फिमेल टिचर्सहरु प्रति चाहिँ यो भएको थियो एन्ड दिस ह्यापन यता युएस जस्तो कन्ट्रीमा पनि हैन स्टेट लेभल युनिभर्सिटीमा पनि त यस्तो हुन्छ भने यु क्यान ओन्ली इमेजिन हाउ डिपली रुटेड हाम्रो सोसाइटी छ मेल डोमिनेटेड सोसाइटीमा वेयर फिमेल टिचर्स आर अलवेज ओप्रेस्ड हैन अनि we can just imagine कि यसको आउटकम लङ रनमा के भइरहेछ छ अहिले देखि पनि रहेछौँ हामीले हैन यो पेन्डेमिकको टाइममा we have seen so many harassments we've heard so many news about all these stuff coming together
yeah
right so मेरो अर्को एउटा क्वेशन चाहिँ छ है त यो क्वेशन भन्दा पनि it's more linear towards solution हैन यो policy making हरूमा चाहिँ like what effort should be given or what changes should be there okay so more policy making मा चाहिँ यो schools हरूमा what do you think what kind of change should happen at that
I think policies हरू चाहिँ अलिकति gender sensitive हुनु पर्यो कि gender neutral हुनु पर्यो हैन like I mentioned before पनि particularly directed towards एउटा sex हुनु भएन कि we also have to be very inclusive हैन एकदमै हुन्छ नि यो this today we're progressing towards intersectionalism and everything हैन so त्यसले गर्दाखेरि पनि अलिकति एउटा sex driven हुनु भएन or two sex driven हुनु भएन हैन we also have to understand कि अरु gender sexual identities छ भनेर हैन अनि अर्को भनेको चाहिँ I think it also has a lot to do with creating a safe space for students के म as a student मलाई स्कुलमा sexually harassed भए म physically म verbally मात्र नै harassed भए पनि I do not have a safe space to go to okay and to safe space I think schools ले चाहिँ create गर्नुपर्छ हैन with like qualified counselors qualified social workers and not counselors or discipline in charge just for the sake of it okay जो चाहिँ हुन्छ नि 24/7 walkie talkie बोकेर कलेज स्कुल्सहरुमा हिँड्ने होइन कि being there for the students के त्यस्तो खाले counselors I think they have to set about a committee हैन अनि also they have to do a lot of things in the field of teacher training a lot of things
right speaking of counselors or DI भनौं न disciplinary in charges उहाँहरुको त more physical push मात्र छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई स्टुडेन्ट्सहरु तर्फबाट more हुन्छ नि अलिकति के भन्छ अब फिजिकलिटी अलिकति स्ट्रेंथ देखाएर नै डर भनौं न एक तरहको स्टुडेन्ट्सहरुमाथि डर राखेर नै यिनीहरुलाई अगाडि बढाउँ यिनीहरुको स्कोलास्टिक इयरलाई अगाडि बढाउँ भन्ने आई डोन्ट थिंक अहिले छ कि छैन इट्स बीन 5 years हैन सिन्स आई लेफ्ट नेपालको स्कुल बोर्डिङ स्कुल्सहरु आई डोन्ट नो अहिले कतिको मेन्टल हेल्थ फ्रम टिचर्स एन्ड काउन्सलर्स मेन्टल स्टेबिलिटी हेल्प हुन्छ नि मेन्टल हेल्थलाई कतिको फोकस गरेको छ स्टुडेन्ट्सहरुको आई डोन्ट नो मच अबाउट दैट इफ डु यु नो एनीथिङ अबाउट लाइक हाउ मच these schools emphasize on mental health of students?
No, I think the situation is still the same. Like you mentioned, नेपालको डिसिप्लिन इन्चार्जहरू चाहिँ को चाहिँ अलिकति हुन्छ नि बााउन्सर जस्तो छ rather than their qualifications हुन्छ नि डिग्री छ कि छैन थाहा छैन ट्रेनिङ छ कि छैन थाहा छैन होइन अलिकति हट्टाकट्टा हुनु पर्यो क्लास एउटा ठाउँमा उभियो भने स्टुडेन्ट्सहरू भाग्नु पर्यो त्यो सेन्समा चाहिँ still built up किनभने जब चाहिँ the whole conversation striked होइन सेक्सिजमवालामा I think there were a lot of people from यस्तो स्कुल्सहरू जो चाहिँ are very great in hiring DIsहरू के अनि the condition is still the same के so I don't think there's been much changes also because I do not blame the schools completely for this also your mental health ko kurama चाहिँ धेरै नगर्नुको लागि चाहिँ किनभने we as a country नै हामी mental health लाई नै अति धेरै stigmatize गरिरहेको छौं के हामी त भर्खरै बुझ्न थालेको छौं भनेर we're just fine अब मलाई आफै नै कति धेरै कुरा भयो भने म इजिली भेन्ट आउट गर्न सक्दैन नि त साथीहरुलाई or I have to think before I tell another person कि okay I'm getting anxious हुन्छ नि मलाई स्ट्रेस भइरहेको छ I don't want to have a conversation these things are not very welcome in our country okay? So I really don't think it's completely the schools to be blamed that they must have done something that gareko chai chaina
एउटा saddening fact भनौं I think it was for our mental health podcast Felicia I was doing some research and then here I figured out that there are only 58 psychiatrists for a population of 30 million Nepal and that was 2018 to 2019 good data and your 2 years I don't think there's much of an enhancement to numbers but 50 to 58 psychiatrists for a population of 30 million is really not cool yet.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know, it's so ironic. Mental health problems could I help garnu bhanda pani school is being the reason why children have mental health issues as I say it's the other way around okay ani I think they really need to redefine what discipline means ani there should be like a class or something where they can just talk about things they can like track their growth hamro college ma like plus 2 ma there used to be like value class ni I mean like that was the when you hear value class it sounds like so epic the contents need to be like changed because okay they are in a way trying to say that you need to have certain values you need to do certain things effectively and I think that those kind of classes need to be in every level like 4-5 class okay like you want to take care of these kids 6 boys so you're on your own now just study physics like math and all I think that needs to happen and I don't know when that'll happen that's my take like instead of helping them schools are being the reasons like why children have so many issues with themselves.
I think adding to this why I also think is Nepal's schools are not very progressive because Nepal's schools ma padhne students at least like bahira nabhane pani at least Kathmandu centric schools haru ma chai students haru chai ekdamai huncha ni धेरै exposed भएर धेरै networking भएर हुन्छ नि उनीहरु चाहिँ they're advancing they're moving ahead with time तर schools haru चाहिँ जताको ततै छ के they're still following हुन्छ नि years long curriculum they're still into हुन्छ नि 10 years अगाडिकै rules and regulations haru so त्यसले गर्दाखेरि पनि schools are failing के त्यसले गर्दाखेरि हामीलाई चाहिँ लागिरहेछ कि schools are failing but in a way or the other I think it's also about students haru चाहिँ advancing के हाम्रो डिमान्ड्स छुट्टै छ नि त लाइक स्कुल्सहरुलाई लाइक पढिसकेर मोरल एजुकेसन दिन चाहिँ एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट हो राम्रो हो जस्तो लाग्ला हैन तर हामी एज रियलिस्टिक बीइङ्स हामीलाई त्यो राम्रो लाग्दैन होला कि वी नीड मोर प्र्याक्टिकल कुराहरु सिकाउ ल भ्याल्युज यो ठीक छ इफ यु आर टिचिङ फर अ इयर भ्याल्यु क्लास हैन एभ्री सिंगल भ्याल्यु क्लासमा आएर तिमीले त्यही कुरा भनिरहनु पर्दैन नि त यु क्यान जस्ट मेक इट मोर प्र्याक्टिकल हुन्छ नि मोर सोशली रेलेभेन्ट बनाउन नै त सकिन्छ नि त हैन द्याट इज व्हाट स्कुल्स आर फेलिङ टु डु जस्तो चाहिँ मलाई लाग्छ कि
Right.
I'm like, yes, okay, go ahead, sorry.
Like, school को curriculum ठीक छ हैन सबै छ तर deliver गर्ने strategy तरिका चाहिँ जहिले पनि एउटै भयो क्या it's okay if you have the same PowerPoint presentation that you want to teach to our ongoing class but the way you present the PowerPoints हुन्छ नि अलि नयाँ स्ट्याटिस्टिकहरु ल्याएर अलि engagement स्टुडेन्ट्सहरुमा बढायो भने I think त्यो क्लास पनि धेरै intimidating धेरै engaging हुन सक्छ होला and then this should heavily be on not just teachers but also like principals and board committees I think they should back teachers up we got to be more innovative right we got to be technological era, so I think we need to change the way we deliver our course material. भन्ने एउटा सोच चाहिँ धेरै 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 कम स्कुल्स अर्थात् probably none-ले नै राखेको छ होला यो. Like I haven't seen much enhancement Nepalको education system or the way they deliver all their materials. अनि now Felicia team भन न, and I'll come back again. I wanted to
I have a very, very different topic altogether. Have you guys experienced, I mean, like, do you think girls have experienced any kind of sexism or any uncomfortable events from, like, being in uncomfortable situations when it comes to, like, their, like, male friends or anything like that? Do you think that happens? I mean, I personally haven't really witnessed or like experienced anything like that, but do you think some girls have been in situations where they have been harassed or made where they've been uncomfortable being around their male friends?
Well, definitely, like, the whole thing is मान्छेलाई चाहिँ जति म नजिक भयो त्यति नै I'm entitled to do whatever I wish to do भन्ने छ हैन. So of course, like, अब सानो कुराहरुदेखि लिएर नै I think that is prevalent. Like, even with me sitting with my male friends, they're not very shy enough to like crack sexist jokes or just say things until they know that I'm going to react, so they'll just shut up, you know. So I think you are prevalent. I mean, of course, like talking about your harassment, they're much intense, much higher level about like mentally affecting, emotionally affecting. So in a country जहाँ चाहिँ एउटा बुवा हुन्छ नि बाउले नि आफ्नो छोरीलाई रेप गर्नबाट दुईचोटि पनि सोच्दैन. I don't think male friends are that far enough to not sexually harass or not make their female friends feel less intimidated by them. I think generalize I've not had those experiences as well. If we look at general stories that we hear, confessions, women confessions, I do think there are cases like that.
Okay, the reason I bring this up is I don't know if this is very relevant to our topic. That Darshana, I remember like there was like this boys' locker room thing, I know. You remember that incident with like, okay, so during that time I remember this, I think Indian like feminist, she had posted this on her IGTV, and I found a guy from a high school we went to, like he's a year senior to us, and he had literally posted rape threat to that woman, rape threat. And I took a screenshot and I sent it to one of our teachers, and his response was, I mean, okay, I'll get back to you. And that I don't know, like I didn't get the response I wanted, and I didn't know who to reach out to. So I sent it to like some of his but the same year that the same batchmates, I sent it to his batchmates as well, but like I didn't get the kind of rage I wanted to see from them. Okay, like your friend who you studied with like a few years ago is posting a rape threat, and it's coming from a well-reputed school. And that's why I wanted to ask this question. Like people from our age or like our friends, our classmates could have this kind of mentality, mindset. I just wanted to bring that up. Do you have anything to say?
I think as a friend, like, they find it more in the name of like being drunk, or you are drunk or I am drunk, but excuses they're too easy. Like there are people like they just say random things and just make excuses out of it. And I think even I know a person has done all those things. So I think in a way or the other, so I think that is prevalent.
अहिलेदेखि नै केटाहरूको कन्भर्सेसनमा यो एकदमै नर्मल भइसक्यो क्या हुन्छ नि. when we talk about girls भनौँ न, like when boys gossip, when they talk about girls and if it's more sexual, भने पहिलेदेखि नै त्यो केटाहरूको बिचको त्यो जुन चाहिँ अब इन्भाइरोमेन्ट भाइब हुन्छ नि एकदमै फ्रेन्डली हुन्छ यस्तो जोक्सहरू गर्दा एकअर्का बिचमा भन्ने. I feel like that. यस्तोले गर्दा चाहिँ हरेक केटाहरूकोमा चाहिँ it's okay to, even if it's joke, even if it's a threat, and I think it's okay भन्ने उनीहरूको like minor prejudice पहिलेदेखि नै छ कि and that's what leads them to like say things like this, or else it's disgusting. Like honestly, if my friends or if anybody that I know would do something like this, or even like joke something like this, man, it would be really bad. Like I would not be with them. But to hear such things, yeah, especially like that, and not have the teachers respond in the most appropriate manner is really saddening. Like, it's a neto one. Like, I don't know when we'll break the chain, you know? If our teachers, our higher ups, are backup when we raise our voice, when we advocate for these kind of stuff, I think सबैको moral down हुँदै जान्छ क्या. Like we're over here just constantly talking about, okay, these are the things that are not happening, these are the things that's wrong, come on, do something about it भन्दाखेरि अनि higher ups ले चाहिँ भन्दाखेरि अब त्यस्तो attitude देखायो भने त I think, I don't know, it's really demotivating.
It is. But I think sometimes I feel boys, they are the part of society and they've seen this happening and it's been normalized, and sometimes the intentions might not be exactly like they think that the intentions are good but they're actually not okay.
Yeah, that's not.
So like at the end of the day, they say that I respect women. I want to share this incident. I know it was a holy event that happened here, and this guy literally grabbed me, and I don't know him. Okay, I just I know he is there, like he exists in my club, but I have never had like one-on-one conversation with him. He just grabs me and like smears color on my face. I know, and I tried to push him after that. And I sent a very long text to him, like this is, and I told everyone in that organization that this guy did this to me. And I sent a very, very long text explaining, like this is like not good, this is uncomfortable, and I hope you not behave like this with any other woman. And his reply was, "Oh, I respect women. My intention was not bad, whatever." And when I shared that post, you won't believe I got around 4 to 5 messages from girls who had experienced same or actually worse experiences like that from a guy friend. So we really need to think about teaching guys where to draw the line. I'm talking about a lot of irrelevant issues, but I think yeah, Darshana, go.
Like Felicia said, I respect girls, I respect my female friends, starting to tease another woman, objectifying another woman. I think that doesn't help too, okay? So if you respect a woman, you respect all the women, no matter if तिम्रो साथी होस्, दिदी होस्, जो भए पनि, हैन? So if you're gonna त्यो double standard नि झल्काउँछ के? And like Felicia said, we can't completely impose यो सबै हुन्छ नि भाइहरुको दोष ल मेलहरुले गर्छ भन्न नि मिल्दैन के? Because at the end of the day, they've normalized it in such a way, हैन? बच्चादेखि यस्तै भएको, हैन? बच्चादेखि दाइहरुसँग बसेर केटी जिस्काउन सिकेको केटाहरुलाई, हैन? All of a sudden आएर we cannot just say भन्दा नि भन्न त पाइयो हैन, तर we can't expect them to suddenly be like turn around and make things all right for us, for this generation of women to survive. But I think it's going to be really hard, but the trials चाहिँ हुनु पर्यो के, instead of us as women हामी जहिले नि पोक गर्नु भन्दा, point out गर्नु भन्दा, because I've seen it all around like social media and elsewhere, हैन? Men don't like to be reminded कि उनीहरुले के wrong गर्छ भनेर के. They don't like it. Even with our friends circles, with people I have on social media, मैले के post गरिहाले भने पनि they're like एउटा group आउँछ कि, एउटा झुन्ड आउँछ कि, and they'll just be like backlash, हैन? So they don't like to be reminded. So they also have to realize that they have to be trying, no matter if somebody's telling them or not, they have to be trying. I mean, उनीहरुको close friends सँग जस्तो हुन्छ, उनीहरुको sisters or the mothers or something. So they also have to try to make that sense of respect with other women as well, other people as well.
Right. Because to male like it is true. When you correct male, you won't get much of a good a sensitive vibe from them. Did you just correct me? And मेरो point of view is different, man. The thing that I'm saying is different. तैले भनेको different छ भन्ने type of attitude तिर more linear हुन्छ के उनीहरु. And that kind of kills the whole momentum of us trying to just change the way they think, or at least हुन्छ नि अलिकति भए पनि बुद्धि चाहिँ उनीहरुको दिमागमा हाल्दिनै सकिँदैन के. They like block all cycles of us trying to reach them. सबै like उनीहरुको ego नै ठुलो हुन्छ. उनीहरुलाई बच्चादेखि नै जसरी रेज गर्यो पढायो उनीहरु त्यही नै उनीहरुको like core हुन्छ क्या. And there's like no way in hell that we can just fill in a few stuff That's what I feel with my मेरो friend circle एकदमै राम्रो छ, but I've had friends who are like really not cool.
Yeah, I want to bring up एउटा I think it was Darshana, I think you guys did it, एउटा good touch bad touch वाला यस्तै के stall राखेको थियो नि तिमीहरूले. I think it was कुन मेलामा, I don't remember. But I think that was the first time I learned about good touch, bad touch. I swear that is very, very like shameful, and I didn't know about that very well. I mean, I knew that I cannot let people touch me in certain ways, but I didn't know that, okay, this is also the way that you can tell people or tell women or just people in general. I think that was a very, very good initiative, and that needs to happen like every week or regularly, okay? So that people are aware about where to draw the line. And I had this mentor who told me once that every time we keep saying this quote that treat the people the way you want to be treated, treat the people the way you want to be treated, but actually you have to treat people the way they desire to be treated on it, okay? So I think that is something that is the idea that needs to flow around. But yeah, I just wanted to mention the good touch, bad touch one, and I really like, and yeah.
Yes, it does sound really nice.
Oh,
good touch, bad touch.
I think it's very important, especially young age must important हुन्छ कि बिकज ठुलो भइसकेपछि you're all about हुन्छ नि अब SR HR this that भन्ने हुन्छ हैन तर young age मा चाहिँ just to build it कि if you really dive deeper into it हैन I think त्यो हुन्छ नि compulsory curriculum भन्दा नि जुन चाहिँ एउटा extra form of curriculum हुन्छ नि जसले चाहिँ like general कुराहरु सिकाउँछ त्यो build up गर्नको लागि नि there is a lot of scope के चाहे त्यो हुन्छ नि primary schools को बच्चाहरुलाई good touch bad touch सिकाउने हो कि हैन अब त्यसपछि like secondary level को लागि चाहिँ अब just gender sensitive things हैन यो भनेको के हो त्यो भनेको के हो or higher secondary पछि चाहिँ अब SRHR हुन्छ नि all about menstruation and everything हैन I think there's a lot of scope into it तर yeah we still need to explore
yeah. What do you think needs to be done to change this? How can we as individuals, I mean, I'm not really sure about like how policies work and all of that, and I still need to learn that, but how can like us as an individual or like even if we form like a group or a committee, how do you think we can put an input so that schools like eventually bring these issues or change their ways in a certain way?
I think first this conversation भइरहेछ नि it needs to be amplified के एकदमै के एउटा इश्यू आयो अनि त्यसलाई फेरि तल झार्यो त्यस्तो चाहिँ हुनु भएन हैन I think the conversations need to take place अनि it's amazing that you guys are already doing so much about it हैन तर I think every single person should हुन्छ नि अब लेखेर हुन्छ कि आफूले जे आउँछ कि just whatever it is हैन जुन medium proper राख्छ जे गरेर भए पनि I think the discussion needs to go on and on and on and of course there will be a point जब चाहिँ हुन्छ नि something is going to happen at least हुन्छ नि talk to teachers research and survey teachers सँग कुरा गर what is actually falling wrong in the entire system okay the schools को fault हो कि हुन्छ नि teachers को incapability to be हुन्छ नि delivering good things enough हो कि हैन or students के side बाट whether it's हुन्छ नि अब not being able to actually catch up with what the teachers are saying हो कि हैन I think the fault in the system चाहिँ कहाँनिर छ भने चाहिँ we still have to figure that out okay because we cannot be here and completely blaming the schools for every single thing okay किनभने हुन्छ नि while they are already at fault it's every single thing is not their fault हैन किनभने we also have to admit कि schools गर्दा नै हामी so many of us are who we are today okay and we can never forget that त्यसले गर्दाखेरि I think like दुईटै कुरा चाहिँ we have to like keep balancing it and just adding to the narration यो conversation चाहिँ अगाडि बढिराख्नु पर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ
So it's like a correlation between society को fundamental values and यता हाम्रो educators हरु छ who अहिलेको scenario मा हेर्नु भने हाम्रो educators हरु they have to in like आफ्नो policy नै अब society को values हेरेर नै बनाउनु पर्दा हुन्छ क्या अनि it's not like उनीहरुलाई त्यो freedom छ नि okay this is the way that I want to deliver your certain topic towards मेरो audience अर्थात् towards my students भन्दाखेरि पनि अलिकति restrictions हरु society बाट नै धेरै पनि आइराको देखिन सक्छौं हामीले यता भ्यालीमा नभए पनि you can go like you can see outside of the valley हैन rural places हरुमा schools communities हरु कति distinct छन् अनि कति पछाडी छन् र community ले society ले कति affect गर्छ के policy makers यताको educators हरुले नै So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's a team effort. It's always a team effort, and student speech, educators speech, policymakers, and then definitely society. Because educators र students चाहिँ change भयो त ठिक छैन तर सोसाइटीमा पनि त मान्छेहरू त बस्छन् and if they still think what they used to think भने I think the bridge kind of collapses in between.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I can't imagine like studying all of the great things and second progressive कुरा स्कुलमा अनि घर आएर चाहिँ मम्मीहरूले त्यही कुरा रिपिट गरिरहेको छ भने like it's gonna be really really uncomfortable. So I think I have asked all the questions, and Darshana, thank you so much for all your wonderful insights about all the topics. And Sagyan, do you have anything else to add?
No, मैले त मन भरेर सोधेँ.
Yeah. So before we go, Darshana, thank you so much again. Any final words before we end this?
Thank you so much, you guys, for having me here. I love talking about sexism schools. I'm really glad that you guys called me here. I'm so very glad. Thank you so much for having me here. I hope like we use every single medium we have in order to amplify this message. You guys keep doing this. We'll try. Let us all try from our own ends. Hopefully one day, the younger generation gets to go into school that's gender neutral enough, that's gender sensitive enough, that has policies that are gender mainstreamed. And that is all. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we will have her Instagram and all the F Project Nepal, all the details and everything in the description. Thank you so much, Ani. Thank you all for listening. That's all. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.